Hello and welcome to Bridgewater Raynham Regional High School, home of the Trojans, where today it's the last home game of the regular season. Of course, that doesn't fall on Thanksgiving. For today's matchup, the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins coming all the way up from Cape Cod to face the 2-4 Trojans. I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, joined alongside Bobby and Lester. Guys, not the season BR was looking for, but they're trying to string together a couple of wins heading towards Thanksgiving.
This one's going to be huge for them to get white hot heading into the playoffs with Lombard and Morrison taking the boat of the load. This should be a fun one here in Dennis-Yarmouth.
Yeah, good way to end off the season and hopefully get beyond his 200th win.
Well, as you mentioned, head coach Dan Buron, athletic director Dan Buron, heading for win number 200. His next victory will be that magical win. He's got quite the test in the Dolphins today. That team is led by two explosive juniors, Jeffrey Jamil and quarterback Mike Paulina. They can strike on just about any play.
Oh, yeah, very excited to see that, see what they bring to the table.
And watch out for running back Jaquan Parker as well, who's also a heavy lifter in the offense.
We are winning the opening coin toss, electing to defer. They kick off now. They are Dennis-Yarmouth wearing their visiting white jerseys, gray pants, white helmets with the New York Jets-esque look. The Trojans wearing their home all red jerseys, red pants, and brought out of bounds at the 15-yard line is number 33. That is Jared Pinot for the Dolphins.
Could be a big test for BR's defense this week.
We've got the first look of the afternoon at Mark Paulina, the junior quarterback. He's wearing number 10 in the shotgun.
Oh, motioned out.
He motioned out. This is a wildcat play. It goes directly to number 36, who's got a lot of running room. He's a flag thrown on the play, but he's into the open field. Here he goes, pushed out of bounds all the way down to the 27-yard line. That is Jeffrey Jamil, the junior wide receiver on the wildcat direct snap.
And this offense can score just about in a snap of a finger, and they are very explosive, as you just saw right there.
Good news for the Trojans, that flag against the Dolphins for offensive holding, so that play is coming all the way back. BR catches a break early.
And I don't know if you saw it, but their quarterback, Mike Paulina, just took a shot by one of those Bridgewater Raynham linebackers trying to seal the edge for Jamelia.
So now it will be first and long to go for the Dolphins as we take a look at that replay. The play developed well off the wildcat.
Yeah, it really did.
And it completely fooled the BR defense. But it's the little mistakes that can cost you. First and 12 for the Dolphins. Paulina has it batted down.
Nice.
Getting into the backfield for the Trojans is number 87, Logan Johnson.
Mike Paulina very aware there as the ball gets tipped up, and he just swats it down, trying to save it from hanging in the air a little too long and in the hands of a BR defender.
It was good awareness, guys, by Paulina in the backfield. Once that ball was tipped back up in the air, he kind of batted it down to avoid the pick six.
This is a very efficiently run spread offense by the offensive coordinator for a very long time in Jamelia, the new head coach.
Oh, up the middle.
Paulina stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be 3rd and 12 as the BR defense starting off very well.
Yeah, that D-line showing promise for this game.
And defensive end Ryan Rubinskis comes down and collapses, makes a huge play inside the middle to stuff Paulina, setting up a huge 3rd and long.
3rd and long inside the 15. This is big.
Officially a loss of 1 on the play. 3rd and 12 to go for the Dolphins. They go 5 wide with 3 trips to the near side. Paulina back to pass. Over the middle.
Oh.
And it was batted by number 14, Ryan Crookshank tried to make the phenomenal interception. I think it went right off the end of his fingertips in the middle of the field. That brings up a 4th and 12. What a stand for BR's defense after that first play of the game that ended up getting called back.
Well, that's how you come back and you make a big stop after letting up a big run like that. And if you want to win this game, then you're going to have to make drives like that happen.
Paulina lined up short to punt. He runs to the side and now kicks a spiraling kick at the 45-yard line. Morrison with it, and he is wrapped up, diving ahead nicely to get across the 40 to the 39-yard line. And that is where we will have the first look of the day at the BR offense, a run-heavy offense.
Very run-heavy offense and a very explosive offense with the tandem of Morrison and Lombard in the backfield. Hartzell a few weeks ago in Marshfield had one of his best offensive passing days, throwing for over 150 yards and a touchdown.
Austin Hartzell, the young sophomore quarterback for the Trojans, wearing number 9.
Willie Lombard lined up deep.
Hartzell under center, one running back. The pitch.
Oh, he's got the corner. He cut it up.
Number 5. That's
and
Willie
he's gone.
Lombard all the way to the house. William Lombard for the touchdown on BR's opening play of the first quarter. We're only a minute and 35 seconds into this one. The Trojans take a lead.
That's how you set the tone, man. First play of the game.
Like I said, they could just explode in the snap of a finger and take it all the way to the house.
That completely got to the Dennis-Yarmouth defense. They had no idea what to expect. You had the running back going to the right side. It was Willie Lombard that was crossing back the other way, and they just couldn't catch up with him once he turned that corner and turned on the Jets. Ball is snapped, the kick is up, and the kick is good. It's 7-0 Trojans, 1 minute and 35 seconds into quarter number 1.
Now the ball's in Dennis-Yarmouth's court. They got to put up an answer. Because like last week, this one could get away from them quickly.
So it's the 39-yard touchdown run by William Lombard.
Coming right off an injury too, right?
Yeah, about a few weeks ago.
Can't ask for a better start than that for BR on both sides of the ball. You get effectively the 3 and out after the first play was called back.
Yep.
And then on the first offensive play of the game, 39-yard touchdown.
You got to keep their foot on the pedal.
You really can't ask for anything more than that if you're going to be a head coach. If you're a head coach. See if BR can do it again.
Liam Stewart to kick this one away. Nice low line drive, end over end kick fielded right at the 10-yard line. And busting up the middle, it's trouble. Brought down at the 48 to the 49-yard line is number 23. That's Jaquan Phillips.
And that is very good field position for this Dennis-Yarmouth team. Inside right at the 50-yard line for Bridgewater Raynham. Let's see if this defense can do it one more time and get the ball back for their offense quickly.
Switching up the formation a little bit. They got 2 in the backfield now.
Paulina in the gun. The handoff indeed goes to Jaquan Phillips, the senior running back. He gets up ahead for a gain of about 10 yards. And that is enough for a Dolphins first down.
Oh, the Dolphins are going no huddle now. Trying to speed things up.
To give this
up
time
middle again.
Is to number 26, Joseph Selecki.
The next few plays, you're going to want to watch Mike Paulina. He might keep it and take it around the corner on one of these upcoming plays.
In the gun, to give to number 23, Jaquan Phillips, and he's brought down.
Big stop for BR.
Looks like it's going to be short of the first down, but It is fairly close. It's going to be third and about a yard to go for the Dolphins. 9.5 to go in the first quarter.
Big test for BR right now. Let's see what they can do on third down.
A lot of blocking.
Bobby, you
Here
got it
goes
right.
Paulina, and he goes right up the middle for the first down.
And that's another
Get the defense just looking for a split second, see if he's going to hand the ball off there. Takes a direct snap and runs it right up the gut.
Paulina again flanked by two running backs. Now splitting out is Jeffrey Jamil. Paulina back to pass, rolling out. He is hit as he throws to the end zone and well overthrown. Good work in the backfield by number 31. That is Corey Abelard for the Trojans that was disrupting Paulina. Second and 10 to go from the 28-yard line for the Dolphins.
Looking for his buddy, Joffrey Jamil. He had him. It's just he takes that shot right before he lets the ball go, which disrupts his timing.
Paulina gives off to number 23, Jaquan Phillips. He's got enough for a Dolphins first down.
And that's another first down for the Dolphins.
Dennis-Yarmouth doing a great job of establishing that run game early so they can set up play action and quarterback runs later in the contest.
And eventually, as we've learned, as Paulina rolls out, and it's another direct snap to Jeffrey Jamil. He's going to toss it up to Paulina in the end zone.
And
it's a touchdown, but flags thrown in the backfield. It looks like it's going to be offensive holding against the Dolphins. Another big play, guys, is going to get called back for Dennis-Yarmouth.
And Mike Paulina did an excellent job of selling it on the block, and then at the last second escaping it and catching it for a touchdown. And that is a shame that his second big play gets called back for this Dennis-Yarmouth team.
The way the Dennis-Yarmouth offense has started to move the ball early, it's going to be a question of whether they can stay out of their own way.
Yeah.
You just got to stay disciplined and stay smart.
First and a lot to go for
26 for the Dolphins.
the Dolphins. It's first and 26 to go. Paulina's short pass complete. And it went to the tight end, number 85, Michael Gurney.
It's a great play by Michael Gurney, getting the yards right back.
Normally, you don't want such a short pass on such a long down in yardage, especially when it's first down. But it worked well for the Dolphins. Now second and about 15. Paulina, short pass again out to Jeffrey Jamil. And he's knocked out of bounds near the original line of scrimmage. It will be third and about 10 to go. Clock stopped with 7:44 to go in the first quarter. Trojans up 7-0 over the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins, who are driving trips to the near side. Paulina in the gun, Jeffrey Jamil in motion. Paulina rolls out, looking to throw short. He's got number 23, Jaquan Phillips, who's going to be short of the first down marker. It's going to be fourth and about 5 to go. Interesting call in high school. We rarely see a good kicker that can kick. It would be about a 25, 30-yard kick if they opt to go that route. The offense is staying on the field for now. The key for BR on this play, do not jump off sides.
I was just going to say, stay disciplined and watch the football. Going to be looking at a hard count from Paulina.
It's Jaquan Phillips to Paulina's left. Paulina rolling out to the far side. The throw is complete.
Touchdown.
And it's good for a touchdown right across the goal line before he was knocked out.
The number 4 seems to haunt Bridgewater Rainham all season. Fourth quarter, they can't close out ball games, and on fourth down here, They let up a touchdown.
On the reception for the touchdown.
It was Jeffrey Jamil on the touchdown.
Something tells me we're going to see a lot about him today.
If they make that play, that could be a huge change of momentum. Bridgewater Rainham would have the ball with a goal line stance, but instead Dennis-Yarmouth gets on the board. So now Bridgewater Rainham will be forced to answer.
All knotted up at 7 apiece with 6:53 to go in the first quarter. Dennis-Yarmouth scoring on a 13-yard reception by Jeffrey Jamil.
With these two explosive offenses, we could very well be seeing a shootout tonight.
Classic games. I was up at Lynn Classical earlier in the season for Brockton versus Lynn Classical. 48-40 was the final score of that one.
If you're a defensive fan, you might have not wanted to be there. But if you're there for the offensive highlights,
It's like the Pats Eagles Super Bowl a couple years ago when Brady went for 400 yards and still lost. And everybody's saying, greatest game of all time. I disagree.
Yep.
And they were saying that one is on Brady. What more do you want Brady to do? Maybe catch that pass.
That one pass.
Maybe
that
catch
little-
that pass.
They go
onside
onside.
kick.
They go on.
It's loose, and
and-
Dennis-Yarmouth is right in the middle of the huddle. I think the
looking like
Dolphins have recovered it. And they do.
Oh, costly mistake for BR.
BR
early
was
in the
not
game.
aware and ready for the onside kick.
And I have in my notes here, if you're going to beat Dennis-Yarmouth, you always need to stay on your heels. And this is why. A little bit of Sean Payton in the head coach here as he goes onside kick right after they tie the game up early in the contest.
It was the big tight end Nick Hogg right in the middle of the field that touched that one for the Trojans. And then the Dolphins just collapsed all around it.
And if I'm Dennis-Yarmouth, I'm going to my guy Joey Jalim right now.
It is indeed Jeffrey Jamil up the middle for a first down to the 22-yard line.
Jamil on the carry. And it was a first down.
Their guy they've been riding with all year long. Him and Mike Polina, the two junior studs.
Oh, the Dolphins are back on the no huddle again.
Two wideouts to the far side. Now they're going to switch up two Dolphin receivers to the near side.
Watch out for that option here.
Phillips and Jamil flanking Paulina.
Oh,
Paulina's
messed
going
up
to
in
keep it
the back.
himself on the miscommunication, and he's brought down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. You can see right there the miscommunication that happened between the trio, Jamil, Phillips, and Paulina. Paulina opted to keep it himself with his running backs going the opposite direction. And good job by BR's defense to get into the backfield and bring Paulina down for the short loss.
Something that has killed Bridgewater Rainham all season is that quarterback and running back option. They just can't account for two guys at once, and having Jamil in the
Over the middle into triple coverage.
That was
What
an
a
amazing
grab
catch.
by
Amazing.
Michael Gurney.
Number 85 on the reception.
Gurney, the senior wideout. That takes some guts by Paulina to throw into the middle of the field into triple coverage.
Another great snag by 85, Michael Gurney.
Paulina in the gun, the snap, the give to Jamil, the power offense,
And I
and
think he's
he
in, yep.
is in for another Dolphins touchdown. Two quick strikes for the Dolphins within about a 3-minute span of game time. They take a 13-7 lead with 5:12 to go. Right as we were talking about the great start that BR got off to, you get the onside kick, a couple of bounces go your way, and the Dolphins take back the lead.
just flat out pounded her right down Bridgewater Rainham's throat right there. Jamil with back-to-back touchdowns for the Dolphins. This time, this one puts them in the lead.
Seth O'Hearn nails his second extra point of the day. 14-7, the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins on top of the Bridgewater Rainham Trojans with 5:12 to go in the first quarter.
Morrison and Lombard have got to be itching to make a play right about now. Their team needs it. after they didn't get the ball back on the onside kick, which set the Dolphins up with amazing field position.
And after your BR, you got to be wary of the onside kick.
Yeah, I think they know that now. Would you even
Oh,
be
they got the
surprised
middle
if they
line
did it
moving
again?
up, just in case.
They've got 9 players within about a 10-yard radius. This one is kicked long, fielded at the 20-yard line by number 5 of the Trojans, who's putting together a nice return all the way up to the 35-yard line before he's brought down to the 37. That was William Lombard, the senior running back, who you'll remember what seems like a fairly long time ago, had a 39-yard run for a touchdown to open BR's offensive day.
If BR is going to beat this team, they have got to run this Dan Buron style offense, take time off the clock, and score touchdowns.
Clean for the wide receivers, the pitch to Lombard. He has a gain of about 5, second and 5 to go for the Trojans.
Got to keep this Dolphins offense off the field as long as you can. Dan Buron, we know, is very good at that.
It's been the hallmark of really South Shore football, high school football in general, is a very run-heavy, throw when needed but not too often. And Dan Buron sticking to that mold here. No wide receivers. They give now to number 15, trying to get to the outside, turn the corner. He does. He's got a first down and more before he's tossed out of bounds. All the way down to the 46 of Dennis-Yarmouth was Anthony Morrison, the junior running back.
He almost got taken out in the backfield on that play.
It's very exciting to watch. Not one time, not 2 times, but 3 times avoids the tackle and gets the first down. This guy's a special player, and he's only a junior.
Very young Trojans team led by sophomore quarterback Austin Hartzell. Back to pass, a quick bullet intended for Morrison falls incomplete. So BR looks to get a lot of valuable experience from this season. Coming in at 2-4, but a lot of valuable lessons. And don't forget, I believe the Trojans were up big on New Bedford, who is currently undefeated and ranked top 15 in the state.
Trojans were up 28-7 on New Bedford and then let up 28 unanswered points in the second half. The defense just totally caved in on them, and the offense couldn't get much going either.
One lone wideout to the far side is Matthew Buron. This is Morrison busting up for a gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd and 6.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go play action pass and they're looking for number 11, Buron, down the sideline here. If Buron have it his way, he'd love to get the offensive run game going first so we can set it up later in the game. Hartzell will need some time, something he doesn't have a lot of all season. Taking a lot of shots.
Is Buron to the near side. Now Morrison splitting out to the far side. Hartzell play action, looking to pass. He's in trouble. He's going to get wrapped up and sacked for a loss of about 7 yards.
Yeah, it's like you said, Bobby. He just needed some time. He couldn't find anything there.
So Buron was open, looking his way. Seems when he rolls to his right is when he's most vulnerable.
That's going to be one of those times, if you don't see the open guy and you're rolling out, you just got to get rid of it. You're outside the tackle box, chuck it into the sideline. You'd rather take the incomplete pass there than the sack and the loss of about 7.
It's one of those things that as a coach, it makes you want to pull your hair out of your head.
The punt, a nice
Almost
punt
blocked.
falling at the 15 after it was almost blocked, as you mentioned, and a nice hit by number 22. Jameer Lawson was deep for the Trojans.
And 10 from the 14-yard line for the Dolphins.
So now the Dolphins can really ramp it up here.
Yeah, they can open this game up big with a touchdown here, but another big task for the BR defense.
So the drive was starting to show some promise for the Trojans before Hartzell took the big sack. Now spinning off a couple of hits, running into his own man.
Phillips again.
Is Jaquan Phillips.
He's a hard runner.
This Dennis-Yarmouth offense, very balanced. Not so much calling too many pass plays or too many run plays. They have a very, very well-balanced offense. They can run it, pass it, do whatever they want to do, and it be effective.
For the Dolphins.
Second and 9.
They're going with that trips bunch formation to the left again.
They give to Jamil trying to turn the corner on the far side. He falls after a gain of about a yard. It'll be now 3rd and about 7 to go.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to the spread on this play, try to open up that defense up the middle.
It'll be 3rd.
That is where the
from
Dolphins
the
have had
17-yard line.
most effectiveness on the passing game.
About 7
It's when they
yards.
go 4 or 5 wideouts. It's 1:25 left in the first quarter, 14-7, Dolphins on top. Mark Paulina back to pass towards the sideline, incomplete, intended for Jeffrey Jamil, who
That'll bring up a fourth
fully
down
extended,
for
still
the
couldn't get to
Dolphins.
it.
That's just a bad throw on the quarterback right there. You had your man. You could have allowed him to fight for some extra yards. Instead, you overthrow him. No chance there.
4th and 7, lining up to punt it away, but BR doesn't have anybody back. I believe they're going to go with the short kind of pooch kick again. They do. Almost blocked, high end over end kick from Paulina. And chasing it is Morrison. He's just going to let it get touchdown at the 31-yard line.
So it's almost like on that pooch punt play, the quarterback's taking a look downfield just to peek, see if anyone's open, and then he's just going to punt it. So BR cannot get lackadaisical. That will come back to haunt them later in this ball game. Kyle, 74, Kyle has smacking his head for some reason.
In the first quarter.
If you're Coach Buron, you got to learn from that. It's the second time they've lined up to punt with the quarterback effectively in the shotgun. If you send in a blitz, that kick's getting blocked.
Oh yeah, he's lined up close, but he's like 5 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Normal punters usually about 13 to 15 yards back. We give to number 19, Michael Rubo, the sophomore running back. He's got a gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
This running back trio with Rubo, Morrison, and Lombard, they're not big, but they are quick.
Second and 5 for the Trojans.
2nd and 5 to go from the 36-yard line. Hartzell under center, 2 backs behind him. They give
Up the middle to Willie.
Lombard for a first down to the 47-yard line.
And that's the type of offensive line play that we got to see the rest of the night, because anybody could have ran through that type of hole. That's an amazing job by Owen Balzerini in that offensive line to give Lombard that much space.
End of the first quarter, the Dolphins holding on to a 1-touchdown lead. It's 14-7. Dennis-Yarmouth on top of Bridgewater Raynham. afternoon that started off with a heck of a lot of promise and a lot of surprise for the Trojans after the 3-and-out for the Dolphins on their first drive, and then the one-play 39-yard touchdown run for Lombard. Thought the Trojans could have really strung together a couple of nice drives and opened up a lead.
That onside kick really hurt them. They weren't expecting it at all.
We talked about the Bridgewater, Raynham, and New Bedford game where the Trojans were up, 28-7.
28-7 heading into the heading into the third quarter.
The ranked, now top 15 ranked, undefeated New Bedford Whalers heavyweight matchup against the 3-3 Brockton Boxers tomorrow afternoon down in New Bedford.
Some might be saying this is New Bedford's year to really make a run towards that championship.
Would be interesting. New Bedford, without sounding too mean, hasn't been good in a very long time.
Another beastly run by Willie.
We can compare them to what the Cleveland Browns.
And then out of nowhere, they're expected to be one game out of a playoff spot.
Running back Nigel Palmer and that quarterback Ethan Midoriya. They're hard to stop.
Big test with huge playoff implications, at least for the Brockton Boxers, who destroyed Durfee in a Southeast Conference matchup last week. 49-8 was the final score of that one. Quick pass complete to number 11 on the far sideline. That is Matthew Buron, his first grab of the day.
Matt Buron, such a weapon, such a big frame out there for Hartzell at his disposal. These are some pretty decently sized corners. And Matt Buron can just shrug them off.
Got a timeout on the field. Now the clock continues to wind. Of course, you mentioned the Brockton Boxers. Of course, the Trojans' Thanksgiving Day rivalry game, the Cape Cod Cafe Cup.
We'll watch Rubinskis 89 go out for a little pass right here.
The pitch to Lombard, spinning,
making something out of
additional
nothing.
yards after he was wrapped up by
the first down.
Just about half of the defensive line for Dennis-Yarmouth. He's got a first down and a couple additional for good measure.
It's one of the many athletic gifts that Willie Lombard has, is the ability to just never quit on a play and make something out of nothing.
That'll be a first down for the Trojans. First and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line.
Buron's in his element right now, taking a lot of clock off.
Hartzell under center. They give right up the middle to the sophomore, number 19, Michael Rubo.
BR stringing together a couple good runs right here.
And if they can keep doing that, if they can keep pounding 4 yards of play, it's going to be a long night for the Dennis-Yarmouth defense. Hands on the hips. They're already getting tired.
It's always the key to a run-heavy offense is wearing down the defensive line. And then usually around the middle of the third quarter, things really open up. The defense really gets tired, and they start to let up a little bit, and that's when the running backs really start to thrive. The pitch to Lombard, he falls backwards, approaching the 10-yard line.
Michael Rubo misses a block there and allows his man to make a play.
And a long ball for the Trojans.
Might have gone for a first down, if not.
It's going to be about 2nd and 4 to go. Ball marked at about the 12-yard line.
Ball resting on about the 11-yard line.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of play action here from Buron.
Look at the mismatch. Matthew Buron in man coverage on the near side. They give to number 18. He's brought down at the 10-yard line. And it's Michael Rubo again. Sophomore running back getting some valuable experience. And you look at the trio of guys for the Trojans. You've got Rubo, of course. You've got Morrison, who's only a junior. And you've got Willie Lombard leading the way as a senior. Hartzell under center.
And the handoff to Willie.
Lombard trying to turn the corner. He's into the end zone. Touchdown Trojans. And they answer with 8:20 to go in the second quarter.
Second touchdown for Willie on the night.
Speed, 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 speed. And Willie Lombard's got way too much of it for them to catch him on the edge there. Little bit of swagger for him walking back to the sideline.
Lombard's,
he knows it. He knows it.
Lombard's second touchdown of the afternoon. She approaches 100 yards early in this one.
He's one of those players that wants the ball. He wants the ball at all times, and he wants to show everyone what he can do.
William Stewart's extra point up and good. Back knotted up 14-14.
Master showing him some love. Middle linebacker for Bridgewater Rainham is inactive this week. Corey Abellard, excuse the pronunciation if it's wrong, stepping up in the middle linebacker spot. Getting flashbacks, Alex?
A little bit. I missed the field. BR's looking to pin them deep on this kickoff to see what they got.
Maybe BR will give it a little onside kick. They won't.
It's a short line drive, falling at the 15, fielded at the 11 by
the quarterback.
The quarterback is Mark Paulina.
Have you guys ever seen a quarterback take a kickback before?
I've never seen it in my life.
He must just be some sort of freak athlete or something, because I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback take back a kick.
Normally the name of the game is protect the quarterback at all costs. Kickoffs, of course, known as the most dangerous play in football.
Kind of just hanging him out there to dry, it seems like.
There he is, Corey Bellard calling the defense this week in place of the injured McMasters.
And that is a dangerous backfield they got back there.
Pauline in the gun, high snap. Quarterback keeper, he's going to be hit in the backfield. It'll be a loss of about a yard.
Pack of dogs, the Bridgewater Rainham defense.
And that's what you like to see on defense. Everyone running to the ball.
One guy hit him and everyone else attack.
Led by number 70 of the Trojans, Dustin Sylvia.
Second and 11 to go for the Dolphins. They go with 3 wideouts, 2 to the far side. Jamil now splits out to make it trips to the far side. That's going to be a false start. Almost reminiscent of the Pittsburgh Steelers false start in game 1 of the NFL season, where everybody started moving except the center. Looked like what happened there is everybody moved, the ball was never snapped.
You heard the crowd having a little fun, and you can't do that. So again, Dennis-Yarmouth shoots himself in the foot.
That makes it a 2nd and 16 to go for the Dolphins. Same play. Jeffrey Jamil splits out to the far side. Paulina now rolling to that far side, throwing back across his body into the middle. Is complete to number 3, Cameron Dennison, the senior wideout.
Pass is complete. Bring up a 2 and 8 for the Dolphins.
A little bit of alumni action here at Bridgewater Random today. Jeff Cicio in attendance, taking in this one. Plays for, of course, Division I Fordham University. It's going to be 4th and about 8 to go for the Dolphins, and you talk about a big stop needed, guys. No time like the present for BR's defense to come up big.
No time like the present is right.
See them lining up in that formation again to punt.
You got to send the house and try to block it. Rolling out. Now he kicks it in.
And
They
a
block
block.
it. And it's fielded at the 31-yard line by one of the Trojans.
No, but one of the Dolphins.
Either way, it's going to be a turnover on downs because it wasn't past the yard to gain.
It looks like Buron might figured out a scheme to put that little scheme to rest. Buron is 15 yards out of the field right now. And he's walking 17 yards, 18 yards.
He's about to go join the referee's huddle.
Buron's at the near hash mark trying to listen into their conversation. They're going to, this ruling is interesting. They're going to rule that BR touched it off the kick, and then the Dolphins recovered it.
That's a tough call to make.
So it's a first down for the Dolphins. Dan Buron is not happy on the Trojan sideline.
The defensive line ain't too happy either about it. Making a statement.
That is Jaquan Phillips getting absolutely wrapped up 3 yards south of the line of scrimmage.
Corey Bellard hyped up. He's not happy about that play either. So what would have changed the momentum of this game goes right back in Dennis-Yarmouth's favor.
2nd and 15 to go.
Paulina quarterback keeper, he's got a hole. He's got a gain of about 6.
Looks like he picked up about 8.
It'll be 3rd and 4 to go for the Dolphins.
Just a little over 5 minutes to go for the half.
Paulina screen passes tipped
deflected.
and then caught. Now they're going to rule it incomplete here. And now Dan Buron screaming at the officials that he indeed caught that and declared himself down, so that would have been a loss of about 5.
And it's almost like you wish you didn't catch that ball if you're the Dennis-Yarmouth head coach. You lose a few yards on that.
Well, the ref's ruling it incomplete, so it is now 4th and 4 instead of 4th and about 9, as it would have been if they ruled that a completed catch. Let's see if Paulina pooches this one away. No Trojan back deep. Now it is Morrison running back and rolling out to the far side. Paulina's going to throw over the middle. He's got his man, Jeffrey Jamil, for a first down.
What a throw.
And Jamil tweaked something in his left leg.
And that pass is completed.
You can see Jeff Jamil, number 36, limping, favoring his left leg over to the Dennis-Yarmouth sideline.
I was just going to say that's killer, but with Jamil on down in the field, this offense can still score and strike anytime.
Trips to the far side. Paulina on the quarterback keeper into the open field, and he's going to get ripped down and tossed out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
And that's the thing with this Dennis-Yarmouth team. One guy goes down, they got another guy in position to score. Make a big play, and that was Pamil.
First and 10.
Paulina on that play.
Back with the no-huddle offense again. Trying to tie down the BR defense.
Paulina in the gun, trips to the near side. Jaquan Phillips, the give up the middle. He's got a hole towards the end zone. He's going to be marked at the 1-yard line.
Backup quarterback Will Levesky taking the carry on that, and they're hurrying here.
Dolphins.
I can imagine a quarterback draw up the middle. Yep.
There it is. And in for the touchdown is Mark Paulina. Dennis-Yarmouth answering with 4:14 to go in the first half. What is quickly turning into a slugfest. Haymaker for a haymaker here. Seth O'Hearn to attempt the extra point for the Dolphins. Ball is snapped, the kick is up, and the kick is wide right.
BR clings on to a 1-point lead.
Is no good.
It's 20-14.
Those kicks do matter. Lose by 1 point late in the game. I'm sure the kicker will have nightmares tonight.
4:14 to go. It's 20-14. Dennis-Yarmouth on top. Good news for BR is not only do they get the ball now with 4:14 to go in the second quarter, they do receive the opening kickoff of the second half.
Like you, with that point you just made, they can really open this ball game up if they play their cards right here heading into halftime.
Another onside
kick. Fielded cleanly this time at the 44-yard line by number 88. That is Luke Payton, the junior tight end.
What a great play by him. Sliding and catching the ball right then and there.
I can imagine they're going to stay with this same play style. Feed Willie and give him the ball.
Well, for those keeping score at home, that's now 2 botched kick returns, technically speaking, for the Trojans. You got the first onside kick, and then you've got the punt that was botched, and now Hartzell goes down for a big loss. He's looking up like, what happened to the offensive line on that play?
It's been the story for him all season long, just not enough time to pass. He gets hit again on the pass play.
Loss of 9. It'll be 2nd and 19 to go for the Trojans.
If they want to get deep into the playoffs, they've got to give Hartzell some time to throw. Because they're going to be playing some really tough defenses, and to have Willie and Morrison take all those shots, you need to take a little bit of pressure off of them.
That we have here today at a 4 o'clock game, the line shouldn't get fairly long because it was an excellent concession stand and the people running it.
Timeout called by Bridgewater Random with 3:33 to go in the second quarter.
Fries, some hot dogs, or a cold drink. It is appreciated. Thank you.
Buddy. 3:33 to go. See, Dan Buron's going to just probably want to grind this one away and take it into the half. If I was Dan Buron, my goal would be to score with about 20, 30 seconds left on the clock, head into half, score another touchdown, and put this game away.
Hartzell under center, back to pass, decides the better of it, hands off to, what's that? Willie Lombard up the middle. He's got a gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd and 14 to go now.
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a screen here to Lombard. What a Rubo.
From the 40-yard line. 14 yards to go.
Parcel back to pass, tipped by number 85, Michael Gurney.
And another 4th and long today.
Another incomplete pass attempt.
And here comes the punt team for the Trojans. So this one won't go as planned, and they'll have to give the ball back to Dennis-Yarmouth.
Just under 3 minutes left.
Matt Buron, that's the
Dolphins barely cracking into the Max Preps power rankings. Of course, that is how the MIAA football seedings and participants are determined. Number 74 in the state are the Dolphins, as this one goes all the way back.
Amazing.
Nice punt. Let it go down all the way to the 1 yard line.
And if you're a punter, that's probably one of the best feelings you're going to feel all game. Setting your team up inside the 5, inside the 3, at the 1.
And you can see it just bouncing, trickling, slowly dribbling its way down to the 1 yard line before being touched down. I think that would have stopped at the 1 regardless of whether the Trojans touched it or not.
Perfect punt. You can't ask for anything more as a punter. Those are the types of punts that you practice.
It's perfect near the sideline.
You see the spin on that thing.
2:36 to go, a 99-yard field to go for the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins. BR trying to force the safety, and not successful. Paulina has a gain of about half a yard.
Paulina there with an excellent job of trying to force Bridgewater Raynham off sides and get a free 5 yards. But the defense stayed disciplined on that one. See Buron a little shaken up after the play, heading to the trainer's bench. They're going to send the quarterback out.
Flag's thrown. It's recovered by BR, but it's going to be a false start.
Buron was not happy with that play. He thought that was his ball in the end zone. The flag came out. Whistle's blowing.
That was just a broken play from the beginning, as you see here, the quarterback rolling out, splitting out rather to the right. False start called on the right tackle of Dennis-Yarmouth.
So Dennis-Yarmouth starts right back where they started, right at the 1. And if you're a safety now and you got a linebacker blitzing, you have to account for the middle of the field, or it's going to be a long play if they decide to pass.
Clock reset to 1 minute 45 seconds. Paulina chucking it upfield.
And a grab by Willie Lombard down the
Intercepted.
sideline.
Nice grab by Willie Lombard back at the 35-yard line.
This kid's having himself a game. It's not even halftime yet.
What a play. We need to put that on a poster.
Lombard on that beautiful interception.
Wish we had an instant replay working.
Lombard.
See Willie Lombard just go up and get it. Mark Paulina threw that one up for grabs. So now, this offense is a chance to go up.
Plenty of time left, 138. Austin Hartzell rolling out. He's going to keep it himself.
Good block.
And get out of play.
Huge block by number 17, Carlo Crocetti.
He might have got away with a block in the back there.
Yeah, that was a close one. That was a close one.
Officially gained about 3.5.
Hartzell stepped out of bounds, so the clock stops at 1:31. Gives them time to think of what they're going to do next. Morrison split out at the bottom of your screen.
But to both sides, motion.
And a nice reverse, cut up the middle.
Here is
it's
Anthony
daylight.
Morrison to the house. Touchdown Trojans. No flags on the field, and BR strikes with 1:23 to go.
Mama, there goes that man. The stars are out tonight. First it's Lombard, and now Morrison gets his turn, and he takes it to the house. Bridgewater Rainham getting hot right at the right time around playoff time.
The middle of the defense for DY is looking a little weak.
Kick is up and no good. So we remain tied with $1:23 to go in the second quarter.
And when you got Willie Lombard going and going and going like he has been all game, the defense got sucked up. And when you have Morrison coming around the edge, no one stayed home for him. He's wide open, and he did the rest.
He's a shifty kid, too.
Excellent play call and excellent execution.
The key here for the Trojans is that they get the ball back to open the second half.
Their defense needs to clamp up here. They cannot allow a busted play, or the momentum will swing very quickly. $1:23 to go. Scored that touchdown a little under 30 seconds. Quarterback
Fielded
again.
at the 17. It is
Oh, the
Paulina,
ball.
and he lost it, and he falls back on it.
Corey Gilbert had a chance to take an absolute shot at the quarterback, and he
wasn't
just
missing
whiffed
it.
a little.
Ball is spotted at the 35-yard line.
Paulina fumbled it at the 30-yard line and diving back on it at the 35.
That could have been costly turnover for Mark Paulina.
1:17 remains.
Dolphins going to go 4 wide to the far side, clean backfield. Paulina back to pass. He goes to Jeffrey Jamil back into the game off the injury for a gain of about 7 to the far side, getting out of bounds, so the clock stops.
This offense is no stranger to running a hurry up, as you see Jeffrey Jamil limping, toughening up and playing in this ball game here, but he's not at 100%. Something to take note of heading into the second half. They're no strangers to running the hurry up, though.
Paulina back to pass over the middle. He's got his man, his number 85, Michael Gurney.
And that's the first down for the Dolphins as they hurry to the line of scrimmage.
Mark Paulina's in his element now. Big chunks of yards, quick time off the clock.
Paulina to pass. He's got number 3 to the far side. He's knocked out of play. That is Cameron Dennison.
You got to give a big ups to that O-line. They're giving him all the time in the world back there to throw the ball.
Left wide open on the far sideline was Dennison.
Second down and a long 3 for the Dolphins.
Second and about 3.5 to go for Paulina and the Dolphins offense. Paulina in the gun, back to pass. Quick moving offense here. Paulina's in trouble. He's going to get wrapped up, breaks the tackle. There's a couple of Trojans down in the backfield. And the man that was initially in, number 87, Logan Johnson, was being laid on top of by Jack Levine. That prevented the sack, but that should have been holding or assault and battery or something.
Those are the type of plays that just makes you want to throw up as a defensive coach. You could have had him with a 3rd down and 20. Instead, it's 1st and 10 with the clock keeps moving.
41 seconds to go. Paulina, the quarterback keeper, he's got a hole. Still on his feet all the way down past the 10 to the 9-yard line. And all of a sudden, as Dennis-Yarmouth calls a timeout, the Dolphins are on the doorstep with 33 seconds to go.
And I don't think that they're going to go for a field goal down here as they elected to go for it on 4th and 7 earlier in the ball game inside the 30-yard line. So it's 4th and go.
1st and goal from the 9 for the Dolphins.
The defensive ends have got to stay disciplined on this drive for Bridgewater Rainham. They cannot allow any outside contain to be blown because these guys are quick off the edge. Jaquan Phillips, Mark Paulina. Let's see what Joffrey Jamilia's got here. Not at 100%.
A lot of confusion on the offensive side of the ball. All the wide receivers switching spots. It's trip to the near side. Paulina back to pass. He's got it complete to Dennison at the 1.
Imagine they let the time tick off.
We got 20 seconds here to try to get in the end zone.
Paulina in the gun. Flag's thrown. I think it's going to be a false start against the Dolphins.
Another flag for the Dolphins. They are killing themselves with this.
What was a 2nd and goal.
Now comes back to the 8-yard line.
And that changes up the whole play call.
It really does. More room to pass.
Timeout, Dennis-Yarmouth.
And now, things are a lot different here if you're the head coach for Dennis-Yarmouth. Could have done a QB sneak, could have just done a fullback dive. Now you got to get a little bit more complex.
That was a substitution violation against the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins. And the interesting thing is, Dan Buron could have elected to run the clock 10 seconds and keep the ball at the 1 or knock him back, and the clock obviously doesn't move. Electing to knock him back to the 8. So here we go. It's 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line for the Dolphins. Direct snap to Jeffrey Jamil. He's hit, but
Willie Lombard with the
down
stick.
at the 5.
Willie Lombard came to play today.
Timeout, DY.
It's the second time
Last time out.
this drive they should have had
7 seconds
Dennis-Yarmouth
remaining.
player in the backfield. Instead, they turn it into positive gain.
Looks like the 5-yard line. 7 seconds remain. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
3rd and goal from about the 6 coming up.
Another slew of whistles. Buron ran all the way down.
Timeout.
And he
To the
calls it a
10-yard line.
timeout. A lot of effort from the Trojans head coach to call a timeout there. 6 seconds to go.
Love to see it. Get a little workout in mid-game.
So far, biggest play of the game right here for the Dolphins
Indeed it is.
and the Trojans.
This play can change a lot.
Going into the half.
Bridgewater Raynham can go into the half with a tie ball game and a stop at the goal line, or they could go into the half down a touchdown.
They're sticking to the trips to the left, open field.
Keep your eyes on 36.
Pulling in the gun, quick pass to Jamil. Falls incomplete.
They got time for about one more play with 4 seconds left.
4th and goal. Do you take the points?
Is that a kicker?
He broke down.
The kicker has come onto the field. It's 4th and goal from about the 6.
And look who's getting that snap, though. Joffrey Jamil. Would not be surprised if he keeps it here.
Seth O'Hearn kicking.
Seth O'Hearn to attempt the field goal.
Evan Presswood might head out.
Kick is up. Kick is good. As time expires, it is 23-20. Dennis-Yarmouth on top as the clock hits 0. We're at halftime, guys. Quite the explosive first half, and I don't think anybody in the stadium expected it to be a 3-point ball game going into the break.
Hey, I know all I expected was this to be an offensive shootout, and that's exactly what we're getting here right now.
23-20 at halftime. We're going to step aside, take a short break, and bring you second half action right after this.
Outstanding. Thank you, girls. visitors at halftime up in the booth.
Back into Bridgewater Raynham High School for second half action between the Dennis-Yarmouth Regional Dolphins and your Bridgewater Raynham Trojans. Once again, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. Joining alongside Bobby and Lester, an offensive show in the first half. It's 23-20. The Dolphins on top, but not for lack of effort for the Trojans. They've got two long runs, one by Lombard and the other by Anthony Morrison, 39-yard run and a 30-yard run for Morrison. A couple of big plays for the Trojans, keeping them in this game. Ultimately, a field goal right at the end of the first half for Dennis-Yarmouth is the difference.
Yeah, and it is the difference here. And also what might come down to be a difference is a missed extra point by Dennis-Yarmouth after a touchdown, which could have put them up by 4. And if BR is going to want to beat Dennis-Yarmouth, they've got to keep their offense off the field for as long as possible. And they've got to come up with touchdowns, and they cannot come up with empty possessions here.
For the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins, it has been all Mark Paulina, the senior quarterback. He's been kick returner, he's been quarterback, he's been doing it all for the Dolphins. And he really has been the difference maker for the New York Jets-looking Dolphins.
Whether it's keeping it or whether it's making a perfect strike, he really is doing it all.
For the Trojans, it has been really William Lombard carrying most of the offensive load for Dan Buron's Dolphins, trying to get win number 200 for the Trojans head coach.
Players would like nothing better to deliver that accolade to their head coach here tonight. Not many coaches can say they've won 200 wins.
You can see the look, very New York Jets-esque. You got the
You even got the
oblong
circle,
oval
green circle
on the
oval,
side,
2 stripes.
green jerseys. The dark gray pants, though, that's a good look. I
I
think
was going to say, that's a nice addition.
I think Adam Gase and the New York Jets might want to take a look into that. It is 23-20, the Dolphins on top coming into the second half, and big number 10 for the Dolphins has been the difference maker. He's got 2 touchdown runs by himself.
Again, this is the Dolphins team which does not want to lose 2 games in a row heading into the playoffs after a 4-game win streak.
Dolphins ranked number 76 in the state according to Max Preps at the moment. Could make quite the jump if they want to hope to enter the postseason. It would take, I think, a very dominating second half by Dennis-Yarmouth if they would hope to get that far up the rankings. So probably unlikely. They're probably in what I call the bridesmaids bracket, 3 games that don't mean anything, and then of course Thanksgiving. Flag thrown. It's going to be delay of game right off the bat by the Trojans, who haven't yet come onto the field. Dan Buron is on the field along with the coaching staff.
They're ready to just come out here and punch him in the mouth.
That's over for the Trojans.
Now Dan Buron's pleading his case to the officials, and they're going to wave off the flag. Okay, so that's 1 win for Dan Buron.
One of many losses for him today.
Not a lot of other calls have gone his way, but he convinced the refs to pick up the flag.
Dennis-Yarmouth came out here ready to go. They've been at the line ready to kick this ball off, and Bridgewater Raynham hasn't even stepped foot on the field yet. kicker getting a little impatient.
The Dolphins have been lined up for at least 3 full minutes, waiting for the Trojans to take the field.
Again, watch this onside kick. They might go right back to it here at the half.
So Hurd kicks it deep. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. William Lombard was back deep.
To the 20-yard line. It'll be first and 10 Trojans from the 20.
So I think that was intentional, not wanting to put the ball in Lombard's hands to open up the half, as he's a very explosive back for this Trojans offense.
We've got the first look of the second half. And Austin Hartzell and the Trojan offense. One wide out to the far side is Anthony Morrison. Goes to Lombard, who's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard.
The offensive line needs to start firing up the ball. They did it there, and that's what cost them. They kind of just stood up and got blown back.
It'll be second and little over 10.
Lombard has 1 reception for 40 yards and a touchdown today.
Snap, Hartzell rolling out. His pass complete to Anthony Morrison, who's got a first down and more. Still on his feet all the way up to the 37-yard line before he is finally taken down. That's a big gainer for the Trojans.
That's the perks of opening up the play-action game, is you get those little 5-and-out passes to Morrison, and he can take it for a big chunk of yards.
The key here is all of the offensive starters for the Dolphins are playing both ways. That was Jaquan Phillips on the tackle. Anthony Morrison, 3 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown to go along with that 16-yard reception.
Ball at the 37-yard line.
Hartzell handing off.
Morrison on the carry, bringing the ball to about the 48.
Something to keep note of, Anthony Morrison has been in motion for the first 3 plays of this drive. They might be trying to set something up with him.
Second and about 7 to go for the Trojans. Austin Hartzell under center. Morrison indeed in motion again. This time the handoff goes to Morrison, and it's not going to fool the Dennis-Yarmouth defense. He does get a gain of 2 to bring up a third and about 6 to go.
So they try to run the scoring play. They got Morrison in the end zone last time. They could not seal the edge. And that allows the linebacker to come up and make a huge tackle.
For the Trojans.
Captain Ryan McCallum was the one who missed that block.
Two wideouts. Morrison moving over. The pitch to Lombard. He's close to the first down. I think he's going to have enough for a fresh set of downs for the Trojans.
And Anthony Morrison, he can run, man, but he can block. This block by Morrison right there. Lombard blows right by.
We're going to debate whether it is enough for a first down. Bringing out the chain gang here. Clock stops with 9:16 to go. It is a first down for the Trojans.
The ball keeps rolling for the Trojans.
Pitch to Lombard, hit at the line, yards after contact. He's got a gain of about 2.
Lombard on the carry.
Yards after contact, the name of the game. There he is, still spinning and falling backwards. Hit at the line of scrimmage, turned into a gain of about 2 for Willie Lombard. 40-yard touchdown reception, 10 carries, 59 yards. He is 1 yard shy of 100 total yards on the night. He eclipses that mark. Willie Lombard into the open field, cutting to the outside. Willie Lombard to the house, touchdown Trojans.
Touchdown by number 5.
Unbelievable run by Lombard with another big hole to run through. Makes a cut and does the rest himself. Unbelievable set of skills on this kid.
51 yards for the score.
A 51-yard touchdown run for Willie Lombard, his 3rd of the game. He's got the hat trick for the Trojans. The kick is up and blocked. So it's 26-23. It remains a 3-point ball game. 110 yards on 11 carries for Lombard, 2 rush TDs to go along with the receiving TD.
Gonna see just lack and contain on the outside as Cameron Denson just comes in, makes a beeline for the center, and blocks that kick.
Be interested to see if Willie Lombard can get the football version of the Gordie Howe hat trick and get a kickoff return touchdown to go along with his receiving touchdown and his 2 running touchdowns.
He's definitely got a lot of time left in the game to do that. Let's see what Dennis-Yarmouth can do to respond.
Ensuing kickoff by Liam Stewart. A low line drive is bobbled initially by Dennison, who then fell on it at the 39.
Drilled it. Ball will be spotted.
See, injuries have played a pretty big factor this season for the Trojans. Just scanning the sideline, they've got 5 or 6 big guys that are in street clothes on the Trojan sideline. That includes sophomore offensive lineman Jonathan Pearson and Zachary Sarantopoulos, the senior running back.
As well as number 6, Tyler Newman, the senior defensive back. It's a big player to have out in your defense, especially with a quarterback as effective as Polina. I would look to see Mark Polina start running the ball a little bit more. He's got 8 carries for 84 yards here in the first half. It's something that this Bridgewater Rainham particular defense struggles against is the quarterback run.
Carry for 8 yards.
Not this time.
Very broken play for the Dolphins.
Ryan Rubinskis swallows him up. Coming down the line and again making a huge play on the defense. Plays both ways. along with Willie Lombard, along with Anthony Morrison. And a big down here for the defense.
3rd and a long 2 for the Dolphins. Quarterback keeper hit, falling forward across the line to gain is Paulina. He's got a first down for Dennis-Yarmouth.
For the Dolphins as they bring the ball over the 50-yard line.
And if middle linebacker Corey Bellard could just shed his block, he can make that tackle and hold him to a 4th down. Instead, he spends a little bit too much time wrestling, and Paulina goes right by him.
Paulina back to pass. He's in trouble, evading contact in the backfield. Now he's going to throw it complete to Jeffrey Jamil on the far sideline. Good for another first down.
First and 10 for the Dolphins.
The elusiveness of Mark Paulina to keep his eyes downfield and to find Jeffrey Jamilia, something he's been doing all season. Using his legs.
Screen pass complete to Jaquan Phillips.
Pass is complete.
Buron telling his linebackers come up and make a hit. Stop catching. You see right here.
Number 59.
He wants his DBs to attack. This time they got trips to the left.
Flags thrown, false start against the left guard.
Penalty's been a story of the night for this Dennis-Yarmouth squad. See the yellow yellow thrown on the field.
Right there, number 78 on the left side of the line.
Big guys getting a little bit too eager.
Michael Nardone, a junior offensive lineman. Paulina back to pass. He's got his man is Michael Gurney on the far side. Good for another Dolphins first down.
And Michael Gurney, he's not going to go out and do anything special. He's going to go out, find the soft spot in the defense, and sit there and wait for the ball to get thrown. Nice job. And it keeps the ball rolling once more for this Dennis-Yarmouth offense. Down 3.
4.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Another 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Quick screen pass to Jaquan Phillips is complete down to the 10, still scrapping. And it'll be marked down right at the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dolphins.
Billy Lombard on that initial contact.
And this is what Coach Buron's talking about. He wants his defensive backs to come up and hit instead of catch. And that one earned Jaquan Parker 2 more yards.
Now Paulina in a lot of trouble, looking for the end zone. He's got Jeffrey Jamil for the touchdown.
Doing his best Patrick Mahomes impression. If you're a coach, you think you can throw it away, but
Jeffrey Jamil showing no ill effects of that lingering ankle injury in the first half, going up and grabbing that one. Seth O'Hearn to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 30-26 the score. Dennis-Yarmouth on top with just under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
So a funky play. I don't think BR knew who was responsible for who. And Jamilia just scampers across the back of the end zone. Makes a fantastic play. Just another instance of you've always got to stay on your heels with this Dennis-Yarmouth offense. And you never know what they're going to do.
The pocket completely collapsed on that play. And Paulina, with pure talent, able to find some open space and just bleed the clock, waiting for someone to get open. Eventually it was Jeffrey Jamil. Seth O'Hearn to kick it away. Line drive will find its way into the end zone for another touchback.
Again, kicking it away from Lombard and Morrison. They do not want the ball to get in one of those two's hands. Few kickoff returns for touchdowns for the pair this season. And now the ball in Bridgewater Rainham score. Back and forth. This has been a trend all game. One person scores, another one answers.
Fairly competitive game. A lot of people didn't think it was going to be as competitive as it is. The 4-2 Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins, the 2-4 Trojans. Lombard hit by a lot of Dolphins. It's a gain of about 3.
See Evan Presswood going for the strip. That's something these BR ball handlers have got to be able to keep in mind. Hold the football. Do not want to have a costly turnover down here in their own territory.
This is the Trojans' last home game until Thanksgiving Day here at Bridgewater Raynham High School, where they will host the Brockton Boxers in the annual Cape Cod Cafe Cup. 10 a.m. kickoff for that one. We'll have it for you on BTV, teaming up with our friends over at Brockton Community Access for that one. Always fun.
Rubo on the carry.
That's Rubo on the carry, short gainer. It's going to be 3rd and about 4 to go for the Trojans.
Now, I know it's only the 3rd quarter here, but this is a big play for this Bridgewater Raynham offense. You don't want to give the ball back to Dennis-Yarmouth and have them go up a few scores on you.
Split wideouts, one to each side. Morrison, the man in motion. The pitch goes to Lombard. Another short gainer will be short of the first down marker.
And you're going to see the fullback, Michael Rubo, supposed to come in and seal the inside. He doesn't, and that's what happened. And that's what causes Lombard to get stopped short of that first down.
Good work by Hawken Kenny, the junior defensive lineman, I should say, for the Dolphins. On that stop, it is 4th and a yard to go for the Trojans. Austin Hartzell under center. Rather, the direct snap to Rubo, and he's got enough for a first down for the Trojans.
Fumbled the ball. Center's lucky.
They did. The center, number 66, Rafael Montero Miranda, falling on it.
Little shade of last year for Anthony Morrison, who played quarterback as a sophomore for this squad before Hartzell took over this season.
Ball just over the 30-yard line.
Hartzell to pass, floating it up. He's got his man, number 86, down to the 30-yard line. That's number 88, rather. Luke Payton, the junior tight end.
That pass is complete to number 88 of the Trojans.
Just busted coverage. Looked like Jamil came up and wasn't reading.
Now pass by Hartzell.
39-yard pass from Hartzell to Payton. Big first down with 50 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Morrison in motion. The give to Lombard. He's hit immediately, still spinning forward, turning a no gain into a 5-yard gain.
Avoided a missile right there.
And Lombard on the carry for a gain of, looks like 6. Boston Herald gives
Right
me
there.
a business again.
Big old Patrick O'Neal, the linebacker, almost had a clean shot. Lombard wasn't swung down, he was. So Buron might just let this one tick away into the 4th quarter, and he will.
And we have the 4th
We have
quarter,
reached
ladies
the
and
end of the
gentlemen.
3rd quarter. It's 30-26. Quite the game shaping up here at Bridgewater Raynham High School. Last game of the quote regular season. The next 3 will know the opponents week to week. First matchup will come out on Sunday afternoon when the MIAA releases their playoff brackets. Trombone's having some fun on the sideline.
These guys are jamming out.
Someone's going to be careful, or they're going to get hit in the head by a trombone slide.
Once more, Bridgewater Raynham has to answer the daunting task of closing a game out here in the 4th quarter.
I mean, you got to consider a small victory, a moral victory, hanging in tough with the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins. Austin Hartzell 4 for 6, 95 yards and a TD, 3 carries for -13. A big chunk of those came on a big 9-yard sack. Hartzell under center. They give to Morrison.
Good block by number 32, Johnny McMasters, going up and getting the linebacker. Watch him right here. Going up and pushing him all the way down the field. As an old fullback, you love to see those type of blocks. Bringing him in for a heavy package, it looks like.
Power formation for the Trojans. They give to Morrison up the middle.
Morrison on the carry.
It's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down.
Good run by Billy Morrison.
Just hard-nosed football. And this is Dan Buron's offense. We're going to ground and pound.
All right, the pitch to Morrison, now going to the right. He's got a first down. Going to be marked down at the 9-yard line. That's going to be, I think, about a yard and a half short, depending on the spot. Mark it down right at the 9. Yard to gain is the 8.
The 3rd and 3.
Do they kick a field goal if they get stopped here?
Give to Rubo, it's not going to matter. They're going to get a first down. Across the 5.
To the 1-yard line.
Defensive line for Dennis-Yarmouth. They've got to step up. They've been getting pounded all game. If they need a stop, it's right here, right now, on 1st and goal.
Austin Hartzell, the young sophomore quarterback for Dan Buron's Bridgewater Raynham Trojans, getting his marching orders heading to the huddle. Under center. Snap cleanly handled. Morrison in for a touchdown. That is the power running game that we spoke of earlier. You're not going to try too many through the air. Austin Hartzell only 4 for 6 so far. it's all about the run game, wearing down that defensive line, and eventually they're going to tire out and they're going to give up a touchdown exactly like they did there.
One thing to notice, Willie Lombard wasn't in for 5 or 4 of those plays. That's a great thing when you have a second back as talented as Morrison, you can just hand the ball off to and punch it in the end zone.
The extra point attempt is way no good. So it's 32-30 with 9:47 to go. The 2-point conversion attempt just...
I think Dennis-Yarmouth had it all scouted out. They sent the guy to the far right and they had double coverage and said nowhere to go with the football. So once again, Dennis-Yarmouth now has to answer.
Difference is Dennis-Yarmouth already has a field goal tonight, so if it comes down to it, they could potentially take a 1-point lead.
9 minutes remaining. Rulo, Morrison, and Lombard have combined for 254 yards.
What a stat that is being read by the PA announcer here at Bridgewater Arena. 254 yards between Lombard, Rubo, and Morrison. Fielded at the 10-yard line by the quarterback, Paulina, who is cutting in and out, bobbing and weaving all the way up to the 32-yard line, where he is knocked down.
Lead that stop to the 54 of the Trojans. Kyle Perry.
There's Kyle Perry on the stop.
Here he comes, the junior stud, Mark Paulina, leading his guys out there to try to drive down the field and take this lead. And hopefully take off a large chunk of clock while he does it.
In the gun, it is Jeffrey Jamil on the carry. Watch the 2 linemen slide out to the left. Pick up a couple of blocks for Jamil. Jamil, 6 carries, 33 yards, and a touchdown so far tonight.
He's been pretty neutralized in the run game thus far.
There's a big stop.
Abelard in place for the injured Johnny McMasters makes a big hit.
That was Jaquan Phillips on the carry.
Saying, don't run towards me, little man.
BR, you need this stop. You want to get the ball back into the offensive motion.
3rd and 5, quarterback keeper. First down across the 50 to the 45-yard line. Goes Mark Paulino.
Another quarterback run. Kills BR.
Paulina on that carry. Gain of 16. It'll be 1st and 10 with the ball.
And back with the no-huddle offense, trying to tire out the BR defensive line.
Spread offense, 4 wide receivers. It looked like Jamil jumped early. No flag thrown. The give the catch for Jaquan Phillips, who is into the open field down to the 20-yard line.
Right inside the red zone.
Gets an extra 10, 15 yards off that missed tackle on the sideline.
That is another 1st down where the ball moves up to the 26-yard line.
Here, he could have got broken, taken down.
You need to wrap him up there.
15 yards extra. Sets him up inside the 20.
Cross narrow guy driving crazy.
Oh, and
almost intercepted by Brian Merlino.
Does an excellent job anticipating this route. Watch him just come up right here.
Trying to jump the route.
And that is just a perfect read. The corner should do.
Taking that one back to the crib.
I'm sure that's all he was thinking about was getting that touchdown.
Thinking about celebrating all the students screaming his
Second and
name.
12.
Instead,
for
it's
the
2nd and
Dolphins.
12.
Polina quarterback keeper. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Might even be a loss of a yard.
Great play by Corey Allenberg coming up and making another big play. Watch him. His boys have his back. The pack of dogs. One guy wraps him up, the others come and take him down.
Yeah, it seems like you can't just take one person to tackle Polina. Need a gang.
3rd and 11 so far tonight. 1 for 7 on 3rd down conversions are the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins.
Time ticking down.
Big 3rd down because they're probably out of field goal range here. Screen pass complete to number 11. That is Will Levesque, the junior listed as a quarterback. Catch by Levesque. He's brought down at the line of scrimmage at 20. 4th and 11.
Those are the type of defensive plays they need to make. As soon as they make contact with somebody coming out of the backfield, bring him down.
This is the biggest play of the game right now.
Name of the game
4th
becomes
down.
again discipline. Do not jump. A spread offense.
Jamil
with
far out right.
4 wideouts. Paulina rolling out to the far side. He chucks it up for Jamil. Incomplete turnover on downs. The
Yeah, I got
Trojans
lucky.
take it back with 5:42 to go.
Lombard appears a little shaken up on that play.
See Jamil with a double move to get open. And just little overthrown.
And you can see it looks like a hamstring for Willie Lombard on the far side.
Limps off the field here.
But as we alluded to on the last Trojans drive, you've got the committee. You've got Anthony Morrison. You've got Michael Rubo.
Don't forget.
They're not losing much by not having Michael Lombard not on the field.
They're more than capable of closing this game out without him on the field.
Please be careful exiting the
And it looks like it
stadium
is just a
because
cramp
lots
for
of
Lombard. He's
students
getting
will be
stretched out on
walking.
the sideline.
And BR cannot let their foot off the gas pedal on this drive just because they're up.
Morrison
They
on
need to get
the
a few
carry.
more first downs, work
Gain of
this
1.
clock, and best case scenario, score one more touchdown.
Put this game away.
Couldn't have said any better, Les.
Clock continues to run now, tick, tick, ticking all the way down to 5:10. Austin Hartzell in no rush to get back to the huddle on 2nd and 11.
Jacob Spears going to have some huge blocks.
Becomes a game of clock management for the Trojans, who lead by 2 points. Hartzell rolling out to the far side, going to keep it himself and get out of play. That's a little mental error for Hartzell. You want to stay in bounds, especially if you can bleed close to a minute off the clock.
Yeah, that's something he'll learn as he gets older with more experience. As you just said, stepping out of bounds with a lead with 4:47 left on the clock, a big no-no for a quarterback.
3rd and 6 for the Trojans.
Dennis-Yarmouth can be in really good position if they can get a stop here. All 3 timeouts remain.
Still no signs of Willie.
Thanks to Austin Hartzell, 4:47, the clock is stopped. The snap, the give off to Morrison, who gets up ahead for a first down.
And when he gets going downfield, it seems like no one can stop him.
And it's a gain of about
Just right up the gut. That's straight power running, lowering the shoulder, taking a couple of guys out with him.
His 2 lead blockers, Michael Rubo and Jacob Spear, making a great hole for him. You gotta wonder when Dennis-Yarmouth will start using those timeouts here in the upcoming minutes if they can't get a stop.
clean wide receivers. Power I, the give to Morrison again. Gain of about 5.
And it seems like Morrison isn't waiting to get hit. He's trying to deliver the hit on every single run.
Quite the strategy by the Trojans. Keep Morrison relatively fresh by using Lombard in the first half. Lombard hasn't got much action here in the second half, but Morrison steps up. The defensive line has been well worn down by this point. He's just gobbling them up.
Chunks and chunks and chunks is what Morrison eats up in the backfield.
It's time to give to Rubo, who's across the 50. Still on his feet all the way down to the 45 of Dennis-Yarmouth. A big first down. That should take us down to about 2:45 to go once the chain's set up.
Whether it's Lombard, whether it's Morrison, whether it's Rubo, this offensive unit cannot be stopped here tonight. Hartzell getting the play from Coach Buron, who's exactly where he wants to be right now. 1st and 10 inside Dennis-Yarmouth territory with 2:45 on the clock.
And another give to Morrison. This time he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, but more importantly, the clock continues to run.
Morrison 10 carries for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns today. So he'll be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time. The tandem of him and Lombard.
Lombard, the hat trick, 3 of the 4 Trojan touchdowns, including a 51-yard run, a 39-yard run, and a 10-yard run. Morrison with a 30-yarder. Morrison stopped again at the line of scrimmage, and a timeout called here.
So here's where it gets interesting. If Dennis-Yarmouth can come up with 2 more stops, this explosive offense can get the football back with probably just about 130, 125 left to play.
Timeout called by Dennis-Yarmouth. 1:51 to go. It's 3rd and 10.
You got to expect the pass here. 10 yards to the first down. You can only hope the offensive line gives it some time to breathe.
Dennis-Yarmouth's got 2 timeouts remaining, so a run wouldn't do much for the Trojans here.
Like us on Facebook, BTV Access.
It's been a fun production here at Bridgewater Rainham High School. Of course, the great crew down in the truck led by Jeff Fowler, Mike Moriello.
Let's see what BR's got for this 3rd down.
Big time play for both ball clubs.
Power I. Give to, rather, Hartzell's going to keep it himself. Now toss it in the general direction of nobody in particular. I'm going to say that was intended for the tight end Luke Payton.
We were talking about that earlier. You don't see anybody down the field, just throw it away.
But he had Payton open.
He did have Payton open.
4 for 7, 95 yards and a TD for Austin Hartzell.
Now they'll send the punt unit out there.
See if we can duplicate the nice punt earlier on in the game. Jeffrey Jamil standing at the 17-yard line.
You know, Coach
Stewart.
Oh,
they're going to
fake
fake
to
it
Morrison.
here. It's Anthony Morrison.
Oh, he's got it.
First down and more all the way down to the 25-yard line. Anthony Morrison, a big first down, resetting it. with 1:38 to go. The direct snap to Anthony Morrison had the Dolphins completely fooled, and he was pushed out of bounds right at the 25-yard line.
He runs
What a
over his
gutsy call by Dan Buron.
runs over his own guy.
I had a feeling Buron has something up his sleeve for the 200 today.
And a timeout called by Bridgewater Raynham here. 1:38 to go. We're having some fun now on the fake punt. Morrison, 12 carries, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 reception for 16 yards.
It looked like he almost got tripped up on that play by his own lineman.
He did. He said, "Get out of my way. I need this first down." And those are the type of plays you can either look silly or you can look real good if it goes your way. Calls a fake punt on fourth and 10. Very gutsy call by Coach Buron on the verge of his 200th win. 1:38 away.
Fresh first down, 2 timeouts remaining for Dennis-Yarmouth, so they'll one more first down, they'll essentially do it. Morrison, the man in motion, the give to Willie Lombard up ahead, a gain of about a yard.
Lombard on the carry.
Dennis-Yarmouth takes another timeout.
And again, Bridgewater Raynham, do not let your foot up off the gas pedal. You still have 1 minute and 34 seconds of football left to play. Do not want to get caught fumbling or making a silly mistake here.
32-30, BR holding on to that slim 2-point lead. It doesn't get much closer than this. It's been back and forth, haymaker for haymaker type of game. And the Trojans on top right now. Leading the way for the Dolphins has been Jeffrey Jamil. He's got 2 touchdown receptions. Paulina has 2 touchdown runs. And then the field goal for Seth O'Hearn. Power I, Hartzell under center, Morrison the man in motion. They give to Rubo, he's wrapped up immediately. And Dennis-Yarmouth calls their final timeout.
Timeout Dolphins.
Liam Wasser had to get held back by a teammate on that play after a shove from a Dennis-Yarmouth player. One thing that would put a dent in this drive for Bridgewater Raynham, it would be an unsportsmanlike on the offense.
It's the last thing that they need right here. On the verge of a win, they can just get this first down.
Dennis-Yarmouth pinching, scratching, doing whatever they can to stay alive as they could enter the playoffs on a 2-game losing skid, starting last week at Barnstable, where their defense allowed 28 unanswered points in the second half.
Our matchup tomorrow, it's Brockton High, the Boxers going down to New Bedford to face the 6-0 undefeated Whalers in a matchup that has huge playoff implications for both teams. Of course, 2 rivals of these BR Trojans.
Leon's got to be telling these guys, be smart. Get 1 more first down and this game's over.
The next scheduled home game for the Trojans here at Bridgewater Raynham High School is on Thanksgiving morning, 10 a.m. It's the Brockton Boxers coming down for the annual Cape Cod Cafe Cup. Always a fun one.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one, especially this year.
Always.
They look evenly matched up.
Always a fun collaboration with the guys from Brockton Community Access and Bridgewater Television. Here's Morrison on the end around. He busts up ahead. He's going to be close to the first down.
I think he's got it.
If he's got the first down, that's game over.
And look at Morrison here, fighting for those extra yards. They bring it out and they bring the chains out. Could be a first. Let's see what they'll do.
They're going to get the official measurement, so the clock stops with $1:20 to go.
And that little leap at the end of that run, that fight for the extra yard, could mean the difference and could mean the ball game here.
13 carries, 102 on the ground for Morrison to go with 2 touchdowns and a reception for 16 yards. He's going to be just short, so it will be 4th and inches.
Oh boy.
I have absolutely zero doubt that Morrison, Lombard, or Rubo can get 6 inches.
Especially with the offensive line they're playing behind.
That being said, Dennis-Yarmouth's going to send the house here. 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions so far tonight are the Trojans, and they'll have to do it again here, or else come up with a big defensive stop on Dennis-Yarmouth as time winds down. We've got a minute to go. The crowd has come alive here at Bridgewater Raynham High School.
If I'm Coach Buron, stick to the basics, run it with one of your trifecta, and get out of this game and go home with a win.
That being said, we've seen some trickery. Do you let Hartzell keep it himself right up the middle, pick up 3 guys to push the pile in Lombard, Morrison, and Rubo?
This should be an interesting call. I don't know what Dan Buron is going to come up with, especially like you said, after the fake punt. Hartson running it up the middle. We'll see.
42 seconds to go. BR has let the clock wind all the way down to 42 seconds before calling their final timeout. It has been an absolute dandy here at Bridgewater Raynham High School between the Dennis-Yarmouth Dolphins and your Bridgewater Raynham Trojans. 32-30 the score at the moment. 42 seconds to go. BR's got a 4th and about 6 inches to go.
Might see a little quick pitch here if they pack in the box. BR might not want to run up the middle.
Defense, offense. These are the type of plays you practice in your backyard. This is it. If you're on defense, gotta make a stop, and if you're on the offense, you've got to get 6 inches.
Oh,
They sent Hartzell out wide. He's the lone wide receiver lined up. Morrison's under center. Rubo behind him. Lombard behind him. Morrison keeps it himself. Rubo with the block. Or the push, rather.
That's going to be
BR's
close.
calling for a first down. It's going to be awfully close. I think you're going to have to measure it again.
Let's see here, see if he gets it with that spin. I don't know.
That might be going the other
Evan
way.
Presswood comes
It's
up.
a first down for the Trojans.
And that might as well have sealed the deal. 38 seconds left.
The phenom, Anthony Morrison, loves it.
I think I can see Buron smiling down there.
And that's about as close as you can get to getting a first down.
And it seals the deal on win number 200 for Dan Buron, who's going to decline. He's going to decline something.
They're not going to make.
Shaking hands.
Yeah, they're not going to make the Trojans take a knee here.
What a win
Buron's about to
heading into
take
the
a shower.
playoffs. And a little grin on Dan Buron.
Dan Buron's got his 200th win. 32-30 the final score here. The Trojans go to embrace and he gets the shower. Why not? Dan Buron, win number 200 here at Bridgewater Raynham High School. 32-30 the final score. Guys, what a phenomenal game here at Bridgewater Raynham High School. The Trojans move to 3-4 on the year.
2 straight wins heading into the playoff. They were 1-5, 1-4. This is a big-time win and a big-time momentum changer for the Trojans.
Last keys to the game, the committee of running backs for the Trojans. Morrison, Rubo, Lombard. Without them, this game isn't won. Talk about their performance tonight.
It seems like they just woke up ready to run all over the field today. No matter who they put in, they were just getting the job done, and it seemed like Buron was happy with the level of running the ball.
It's Lombard with a hat trick, 3 touchdowns, Morrison with 2. And that is an all-around effort for the Trojans. The defense performed when it had to, coming up with a big stop. 32-30, your final score.
I need to give a shout out to that offensive line who were given holes for that running back trifecta all night long. Shout out, good job, fellas.
Well, for my broadcast partners, Les, Bobby, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. 32-30, your final score. The BR Trojans get a big win over at Dennis-Yarmouth in an absolute classic matchup here at Bridgewater Raynham High School. I want to thank you for watching this production of BR Sports on BTV, and for everyone, we'll see you next game.